Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Shadow and Sun Show, and welcome back to another one-on-one. This time, my old friend Armstrong from MADEYE Miniatures. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, I'm great. Thank you for having me today.
Dude, I've been wanting to do this forever. I know you've been busy and stuff, but they say everything happens for a reason, and I think you probably have to admit that this is perfect timing. Uh,
Oh, definitely.
we hadn't spoken in a while, and I reached out, and here we are. This is one of my favorite shows that I do because, well, a lot of reasons, but mostly I want to introduce you to all of my friends because I know once they get to know you a little bit like I do, they're going to want to hang out with you 24/7, and then you won't have any time for your actual hobby. And as we can see, look back there, that is behind the man. That is what it should look like. Just stuff waiting to be built and and painted and used in games. So, uh, usually the first question I ask is, how did you get into this hobby? What were you doing, as a youngster or a young lad that drew you into this phenomenal hobby?
Oh, this gonna actually be weird because I wasn't really the boy who was playing with those toys. Yeah, like I love my 172 small soldiers, and I was, like cutting them up and putting them on the toy cars and so on. So I did do all of that, and I built like a paper craft armors and stuff like that. And my
Mm-hmm.
father got me into the planes. But what's happened? I was sick. I got a hepatitis. Yeah, and I was in the hospital for a couple of months.
Wow.
And my dad bought me a Polish bomber yak. Yeah, a build set, just to glue it together from, like normal military toys.
Mm-hmm.
And I started building it, and I just built one in one evening. Yeah, and I couldn't get enough of it. So when I get out of the hospital, one of my classmates was actually uh, his father was building like big ships, wooden ships and stuff like that. And he told
Really?
me that he's collecting like a military vehicles. And I went with him to one of those stores, bought my first kit, and they give me a loyalty card. If I have 9 stamps on that loyalty card, the 10th kit would be for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was back in those days when people was actually doing stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So within like I think 3 or 4 months, I got that free kit. Yeah, I
So
was
so
just
you did the full 10 then.
yeah, I got full 10. I was collecting at that stage 176 scale military, so I was working on my first Africa Corps build.
that
Yeah, so I
was
have
my
my
dad's favorite too.
yeah
It's
I have
weird.
my first model after that yak was actually a what do you call it, Hanomag
Really.
in 176 scale. Then I got a Cougar wagon, Schwindwagen, a set of soldiers with a motorcycle with the side carriage.
No, I
And
had one of those too.
that's evolved. I
I
actually
might
have
even
one
still have
somewhere
it.
in here. Yeah,
Hey,
I
Raven.
have. Yeah, waiting to be built. Hey, Raven. Yeah. So and then I kind of forgot about that hobby completely because I started doing reenactment with my friends. So I was running in a armor and going crazy,
I can just picture that.
and I broke my collarbone.
Ooh,
So I couldn't run around, with the sword and swing it around.
okay.
And one of my friends mentioned that his friend is collecting this. He's play. I was into like like a computer games and so on because I could only sit at home do nothing. And one of my friends mentioned that his friend is collecting weird stuff. Yeah, so we went to his house, and he have Magic the Gathering cards, which
Hmm.
no, there was actually Magic the Gathering. There was the come on, Doom Trooper.
Oh, no way. Oh, my God. I love that game.
Yeah. So
Dude.
he was collecting Doom Trooper, and I was looking through the cards, and I was loving them. And I started hanging out with that guy, and he bought a Bretonia versus Lizardman
I remember
box
that one.
for the Warhammer Fantasy roleplay. And I looked at the Lizardmans, and I was like, oh, I love these minis. I want them. I didn't have much money because my parents was quite poor, so I was buying them one by one from him. Yeah. for a couple, whenever I could, go, collect bottles, collect cans, sell
Hmm.
them.
Hmm.
Yeah, I would just collect enough money and I would buy one. I would paint it. I would get one extra one and I would paint it and so on. And that's how my first army started. I have a lizardman army when I was about 16.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that army was just fully paid by, selling bottles and cans and, from my
That's
pocket money.
awesome.
Yeah.
But we used to have to do similar things. For me, it was mowing lawns. We had a lawnmower, and I would take it, door to door. Get like $2, $3 for mowing each yard, and that's how I got my. I still have it, my original player's handbook and Dungeon Master's guide. Uh, but after I started playing Dungeons and Dragons, mowing lawns just that didn't happen anymore,
Oh,
except at
Dungeons,
my
Dungeons
house.
and Dragons, I was infected by the same guy. Yeah, I came to him, and he have the wood elves god, mini, and I remember picking it up and it slipped out of my hand and it crashed on the floor. And he was like, "I gonna kill you."
We
Yeah,
got a question for you from the audience. Armstrong, what was your first RPG game, and who
I
was your
was just
first
about to
character?
get that. I was just about to get to that.
Thanks,
So
Raven.
when I just bent down and I started picking up the pieces of the model, and I seen in there a book, Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, and I was like, "What is that?" Yeah, I ignored this when I broke the model.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I was like, "What is that?" And he explained to me what role playing is, and I was like, "I want in." Yeah, so my first game was Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, and I was playing a elf named Londerin, who was a mage. And I rarely ever play mages, but it was interesting to me. And
Hmm.
when I was rolling the character, by accident, I did roll the highest intelligence possible.
Okay.
So it was fitting into Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay universe, for the mages. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be a mage. Eventually, I got a staff of fireball or something like that.
Was it this one?
I think so. Yeah, I barely remember because I think that he have a hardback one.
This is softback, but I've had this
Yeah,
one forever. Never
yeah.
actually played it though.
No, like this guy, he always have the coolest toys. He have parents which was on a economical level much higher than my parents. Yeah. So they was a little bit overprotective, so they keep him indoors all the time. He couldn't go out and play with us, the fighting games outside.
Right.
So we were going to his place and do this stuff, and I loved it. And then he introduced me to my first RPG group. And after playing my first session, I was actually DMing my first session next day, without
That's
any rule books, without anything. Literally just straight out, just say, guys, I know how to roll characters, yeah, because I did that. Let's just make the paper sheets, yeah, with my best friends. We set up the paper sheets and I run a game with them, and all of them was like, yes, we want to do more of that stuff.
I think all of us are guilty of playing wrong, so to speak, or not by the book in the very beginning. But man, some of those were the best times, were they not?
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
So what are you doing now these days? For the
uh,
folks out there who have not met you.
so I moved from Poland to Ireland. Yeah, that was 18 years ago in 2005, 19 years
Hmm.
now. In 2005, I moved to Ireland, and I started living in here. That was kind of in between time, so I didn't do any hobbies. But when I got my first job, the first thing I bought was actually a box of Necrons for Warhammer
Ah, I
40k.
love it. Necrons are my son's favorite army as well. He still has a box. I bought him. I want to say pre-COVID. He was a little guy before the channel even. I think I bought him a box of Necron, and they're still in his room, completely unassembled.
My Necron army is probably worth about 200 points right now. Yeah, and like after I moved to Ireland, I started working. Then I moved to the other city and so on. Like, I think that in my first 6 months living in Ireland, I moved I think 12 times. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
So
And you
yeah,
just went there by yourself, just
yeah.
decided to,
Well,
wow.
I did. What's happened? I decided to move to Ireland because in Poland I was working three different jobs at the same time, about 20 hours a day, and I was earning equivalent of about 600 euro per month.
Mhm.
And I was like, everyone was talking about how much people are earning in Ireland, and I'm a qualified plumber. So was like, okay, I have about 700 euro in my pocket. Yeah, I literally bought the ticket. I wrote a message on the internet that I'm going to Ireland if someone wants to join, like or to move to the country, And I met
Mhm.
like three other people on that chat, and I moved with one of them, and two others actually arrived like 2 days earlier. So we then found a flat together to live in, but I moved out of that flat after a week. And then after those 6 months almost passed, I moved back with them, and we lived together for about 3 months. Yeah, but I was like going everywhere as when I started
I
living
got to
here.
ask you. I know I know you've gone home to visit for holidays and things like that. Um, why do you keep going back?
Why do I keep going back to Ireland or to Poland?
Yeah, yeah.
No, no, but like you see, I go keep going back to Poland because I have family in there. Yeah, and I love my
No, no,
parents. My
no.
parents are my
Right.
best friend. And why I'm going back to Ireland because I love this country.
Really? Okay.
Like it, I'm gonna just the difference between mentality between Polish people living in Poland
Mhm.
and between Irish people is staggering. Polish people seems angry on the outside and they are very closed off from other influences. Yeah,
Mhm.
when you meet them one to one, they're gonna be great. Yeah. In Ireland, on the other hand, you go to the pub, sit next to a complete stranger, and start talking with them, and they don't gonna be looking at you strangely. In Poland, if you do that, people will be like, "Is everything okay with you?" Yeah. So that's what I love about Ireland. I can just go start talking with a complete random stranger, and they're gonna be chatting away with me.
That's awesome. My ancestors got kicked out of Ireland, so just curious. I'll probably never get the chance to visit. But if you ever decide you want to go back home, let me know. I'll put in a good word for you with Archon Studios. They make some of the absolute best stuff, and they're right there in Poland. And what a great company! So if you ever change your mind, let me know. Um, and I'll put in a good word for you. I actually got to talk to them this week because some of us are a little upset with them over something they did, and I'm going to try and change their mind.
I'm always considering moving back to Poland. Yeah, but not probably the next 5 years.
Freaking back. It looks like once again I'm surrounded by people in my Sunday night game. Mac, Raven, Armstrong. Hey, speaking of which, how far along are you with your characters for Sunday?
I have them ready. I have background for the dwarf, and I have a background for my hobbit as well.
Did you buy your equipment?
Most of it, yes.
Okay, okay, awesome, awesome. There are a few things I'm pretty sure we need to go over. What's up, nerds? And I want to make sure everybody's ready. Hopefully, we can get you in a little role playing before then, but it's getting close to the cutoff time.
Yeah,
Partially my fault, but we'll see what we do. You're gonna have a blast with these guys. They're a great bunch of weirdos.
yeah. It
So,
seems like it in the pre-session.
so are you getting any other gaming in these days?
To be honest, I'm living in a small village. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and I work from home. There is no much, like I know one person in here who play Warhammer. Yeah,
Okay,
so I was like, I don't really have much options, and I don't own a car, so travel options are bad. Yeah,
right.
so I'm kind of stuck only building stuff, not gaming really.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
you've got a camera and
yeah.
the internet and stuff. I'm sure you could, you know, maybe work something out. Or is there like a restaurant that would let you, uh, play if you were buying dinner?
Oh, don't worry. Like I said, I gotta figure everything out. I'm getting more into gaming right now. Yeah.
Well, it's it's a brand new year. I want to see everybody out there getting into at least like one game a week, two games a month, something like that. Instead of
I
just doing
hope we're
this
gonna
on
be able to
YouTube
go
all
to
the time.
Dublin. I hope we're gonna be able to go to Dublin to the Games Workshop there next month to have a newest edition game. Yeah, I
What
just
game?
Warhammer 40k. Yeah, I want to get back into the tabletop because
Hmm.
I love tabletop. Like if I could play Mordheim, yeah, or Necromunda, I would spend all day playing it.
Which Necromunda?
uh, Classic.
I love that game. I've got two copies of it that I've had forever. So some of the cardboard's kind of janky, but oh my god, I love that game. That
Oh,
game
for the
was
cardboard, I actually did the plastic art under the original cardboard, so they don't
oh
break.
okay. I never did much like that. I just made more terrain, used the other stuff, but just made more. I got to admit, I think Necromunda terrain is like my favorite to build for some
It's
reason.
very vertical.
Not just that, but I liked looking through magazines for really small little pictures and stuff, and I would take them and use them to make like wanted posters or just billboards, not billboard signs, but the little things you'd see on the walls.
Little brick pallets.
Okay, that's cool. That's really nicely done.
Yeah, it's just, I was sitting one day and I have like a lot of foam bricks because I was thinking about building something, so I started building brick
Hey,
pallets.
what's up, TCG? Unfortunately, when I see brick pallets, I instantly think of Antifa, though. So there's that.
Okay.
That was kind of a thing here. Uh, for those of you who don't know, I met Armstrong uh, because I was fascinated with this game called Gaslands, and my son, being a young boy, had a big box of Hot Wheels, and I was told that that's all you need to play Gaslands. So I started looking around for Gaslands videos, and I bumped into Armstrong all those years ago. We've done what, like 3 craft challenges together
Yeah,
now.
yeah, that
Yep,
was our first one.
all in time for his birthday, which he's got the coolest birthday of all time. You want to share it with folks out there? You mind?
Yeah, I'm a Halloween baby.
Is that the coolest or what? I mean,
No, it isn't
so
because instead of me getting sweets, kids come to me to take sweets away.
I was just saying the other day how much I truly believe it is better to give than receive. So maybe that'll rub off. So I met him by watching his videos like we do, and chatting and communicating, and we've done 3 October craft challenges every the last 3 Octobers, and every time he kicks our ass, just every time. And I got the little guy, Jackie here working with me, so it's 2 against 1, and he still kicks our butt every time. Uh,
Well, I wouldn't say so. I would say that we are usually somewhat close to each other.
well, to be honest, I, once I think it was my idea, but I think the other two were his idea, what he wanted to build, and he doesn't really know orcs that well, but I showed him some pictures. He's like, oh, okay, I got an idea, and I think this year will be the tiebreaker. I'm just saying. Uh, I'm,
Yeah,
I'm,
just
I'm
show him a
ready.
couple
I've
of
only
orc
got
videos.
what 9 months to prepare, so you better bring your A game. But he was just showing off his very organized box of sprue bits, whereas I've got I've got the city dump in my garage, so it's hard for us to find what we're looking for, but. Uh, you have made just some amazing stuff, not just 40K, but the Gaslands stuff that you seriously, you have the greatest Gaslands channel out there.
Oh, thank
I
you.
tell all my friends, a lot of people like to listen to podcasts of various sorts. When I'm really wanting to get into the zone, even if I'm not doing Gaslands, I go to this guy's channel and I just listen to him, build. Like usually it's a single Hot Wheel, and he just works his magic, and the music that he plays is perfect to just chill out and relax and get into whatever craft you're working on. So what are you working on right now?
I actually just finished a video. Well, I finished it on Monday, but my computer refused to edit it. They built this little boy here.
Let me blow you up so everybody can get a good look at it.
So that's going to be the next video on my channel. So this one doesn't actually have any weapons. He is only purely speed and defense.
I can see that.
Yeah, and like I did kind of change the entire idea of how I do the videos
What's up, Justin?
lately. So like this is them. But for example, I work on Warhammer as well. So this is from what do you call this? Dominion box. It is a beast for the Ork war boss, and I
That's
put
terrifying.
yeah, it's gonna
The,
be
the, the scale is what's getting me because I know how big a base that is, and I'm imagining your
it's gonna be
typical.
right for one of those guys.
That reminds me of the old what were those corn blood beasts or whatever, those giant metal.
Juggerdoutes.
Yeah. Those things were freaking awesome.
He is
And
bigger than Juggernaut.
bring that back up again. Put it up. I want to see that. Give us a real glamour shot of that thing. Oh my goodness.
He's about half a size bigger than Jag. Yeah, but like I love like for me when it comes to games, I don't like to have stock toys. Yeah, so I would
Right.
build one stock toy. So for example, Imperial Knights, I built one stock, and I
Uh-huh.
built the second one with my own conversions. Yeah, so for example, this in here Goliath Mini, which I finished painting today, is a stock Mini. Yeah, there is no conversion in it.
Okay.
Now, exactly the same Mini. Yeah, I still have to finish painting it. That's my take on it.
Oh my, that is vastly different. Wow, look at that. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Freaking
So
amazing.
I was just like, what if a one of the Goliath gangers found a abandoned Adeptus Mechanicus walker? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Some sort of like a small like the campus defense drone or whatever. Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Cal and Mobius. How you guys doing today? I'm telling you, this guy is a master.
And like
That is
this one,
amazing.
this guy in here comes actually. It is one of those easy to build. What are the name of them now? Stormcast Eternals.
Okay.
But he's turning out to be a Black Templar lately, because Stormcast Eternals have shields and swords and spears, and he have a chaser than a version of a bolt gun.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's like one of the latest conversions that I've done. But I really love to jump into odd ends of Warhammer, for example. Yeah.
Hmm.
So I have like in here, I can show ton of other converted Goliaths. Like this one, for example, lost both of his original arms, so he have both mechanical arms. That's why his
Okay.
name is Snapper, because both of his arms got snapped away from him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. And my friend Cal apparently has been watching your channel for some time. That's awesome, Cal. I mean,
But the odd end of Warhammer for me, yeah, is Inquisition.
yes,
Yeah.
same here.
So this is one of my Inquisition agent. It's the original mini is actually a witch elf. Yeah, so she's
That is
sitting on a
gorgeous.
pumpkin
I
with
see
a
that.
familiar. Yeah.
That is freaking awesome.
So this is one of my Inquisition agent that I'm working on. This is my other Inquisition agent that I'm working on. It is the chest plate is actually self-casted. I converted
Okay.
it from the Dark Eldar chest piece. Legs belong, I think, to Eldars. The same with the weapon. That all I don't know where it comes from. I think it was from the Imperial Wizards.
Thanks, Cal.
And the gun is from the what do you call them? Adeptus Mechanicus. Yeah. So
Okay.
and the head actually is a converted demonid head. but I know that with this light and this camera, it doesn't show very well. Yeah, again, like, you know, interesting Imperial agent. And then I have this guy converted from the Vansar. He have
I
a
love
skull.
Van Sar. That was like my favorite gang.
Yeah, he have a
Oh,
skull
gang.
head. Yeah,
Hmm.
and again,
Bring it down a
one
little.
of the,
The glare, the light.
yeah.
Bring it down. Yeah, there you go.
So he have a skull head instead of the normal one, a rifle from Adeptus Mechanicus, and now it's broke off. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna fix it, no worries.
Hey,
Yeah,
can you do me a favor? Over on my Discord, post as many pictures as you want in the appropriate server. Just go nuts. Just send us any pictures you want to send, so I can share them with everybody else out there. Because your work is phenomenal. I got to see this next one.
yeah. And this
I
one is a ash waste nomad for me. She's built from the ash waste, from the Vansar kit. Yeah,
okay.
and the skeleton horse. So we have a skeleton horse, we have a Vansar kit in here. She actually have a mechanical arm from the Necrons. That leg in here is actually a Necron rifle. There is a rifle built into the front of the horse, a little bit of, you know, doodads, and the umbrella is
Is
completely
that
built
one of
out of...
those paper umbrellas from a drink?
No, this is actually plastic card umbrella.
Wow.
I built it out of plastic card because, you know, I want it to be solid, and I put it on the spring so it can actually wiggle around.
Oh, okay. I was worried about that for a second, thinking,
No, this is plastic card. You know, I want to make it kind of feel like a geisha traveling. You know.
right. That's instantly the impression I got. But I just figured you would go with one because I haven't seen one of those paper umbrellas. You know what I'm talking about for drinks and stuff. I haven't seen one of those in forever.
I actually have a box of them somewhere, just actually for the conversions. Yeah. And for example, I actually showed this in one of my videos. I think so.
I have not posted
This
that.
is a drone which is built out of a body of the Tau drone. This is a Eldar weapon platform,
Okay.
completely scratch built minigun. A jet repulsors are actually ends of the Space Marine backpack. And this
That's
front in here,
fantastic. Wow, dude.
this sensor part is actually as well Space Marine backpack piece.
Hmm.
And the antennas come from the Imperial Guard Voxcaster. Yeah,
Wow.
so this is a true Frankenstein build.
That is really cool. That
Yeah,
is really cool.
it comes from
And
everywhere.
it could easily be used in so many different games.
Yeah, as well, you know, it includes a knight's shield from the Knights of Bretonia.
Wow,
Just,
that's got a
just to
little bit
throw
of
every
everything.
single genre into that. You know, we have fantasy and 40k. Yeah, but you know, like, you know, I don't only work on the small stuff. Yeah, like, I'm working on this as well. This build
That's
is
freaking amazing.
in build for about 3 years or more. Yeah, I bought those toy cars on, you know, like from the pound shop for I think
Hmm.
£2 each, well,
Hmm.
€2 each. And this one actually just came back to my view like a couple of weeks ago, and I just started, you know, building up the backside
No worries, Cal.
and fixing out, you know, everything else. So it's just, you know, I just adding pieces.
Can you show us a top view, like turn it to the side so we can see? Yeah, see, there's a crap ton of room for extra orcs. I'm guessing.
Yeah, yeah, it's well, I gotta have a driver in here and the gunner in here,
Hmm.
and this is basically just a flatbed to keep the orcs in. Yeah,
Hmm.
and my orcs collection is tremendously big, so hopefully it's gonna fit at least one unit of 10 to 12. Yeah,
That's got to
but
be able
again,
to carry at least 2 or 3 squads.
you know, like for me, like I love the original orcish truck. Let's be honest. Yeah, I have a brand new box in here,
Hmm.
not opened. Yeah.
Hmm.
So original orcish truck is a great. I think it is the best Warhammer 40k kit because you can build everything out of it. Yeah, including stuff like, oh come on, like this little boy.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that it doesn't look anything like an original orcish war truck, But
Battle
believe me, a
wagon.
lot of pieces in here are from the original Orkish war truck. Yeah, the wheels, the entire chassis on the bottom. Yeah, of course it is extended because of this.
Right.
Yeah, and no, the driver isn't actually original because it is a 3D printed one. The part in here, the hitch is actually Orkish war truck. The cabin almost entirely built from the Orkish war truck pieces.
I know, right, Mobius? You're
I,
just blowing my mind, man.
I'm just trying to think, what else is in here original. Because you see, a lot of people look at this and you see on my videos that I have plastic card. Yeah, they use a plastic card.
Hmm.
But how I do
Where do you
that
get your
is,
plastic card?
well, I actually got my plastic card 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, just before I started my channel. I was working on some builds and I looked at Polish version of eBay
Okay.
and I got sheets of plastic card. They are for paneling, those light boxes.
Okay. Okay.
So I have in between 0.25 to 3 millimeters thick plastic card, and I bought one sheet of each, and those sheets was a meter and a half by 3 meters. Yeah, and it was sent to my parents, and my father have to cut it into pieces to send it to me. So I have about this thick stack of plastic cards.
Sorry about that, guy.
Yeah,
I hit the wrong thing. I was trying to do something.
yeah.
Um,
So
you mentioned pound stores. Those are like what we call a dollar store out here.
yeah,
It just gives you an idea how much more expensive things must be out there for you. My dollar store is like if I don't go every week, I start getting a little fidgety because I know something new will have come in to the store and I will have missed out on it. Um, or at least that's the way it was up until about a year ago. Have you noticed that your shop is like just restocking the same old stuff and not getting anything, except the holiday seasonal stuff?
yeah,
And even then, the only time worth going in is for the October stuff because you get the skulls and the bats and the spiders, that sort of thing.
yeah, yeah. That's actually started happening in Ireland earlier. Yeah, so
Hmm.
I in the nearest city to me, which is Kilkenny City. We have one, two, three, four, four-ish different pawn shops,
Oh wow,
and
that's pretty good.
well, especially for a city which technically have 30,000 people living in it.
Yeah, that's really good actually.
Yeah,
We've got
that
one,
wouldn't make a
two.
town in a normal country.
I think we've got three of them, and there's a new one that just opened up, but it's the same brand of store.
Yeah,
So I haven't made a point to go check it out because, uh, like last year and the year before, we were just hitting that place up, just getting just great stuff, and then it just, I don't know what happened. It just and for us, it started out as the dollar store, and now it's a $1.25 store, and with that price increase, we didn't see any new stuff. I mean, virtually everything is the same. They just keep restocking it, and it's getting kind of hard. I have to find like a new place to go for my weird new inspiration. Any suggestions?
go to Poland. No, no, I'm actually quite honest with that one. I Poland is pretty much as expensive as Ireland when it comes to a lot of stuff.
Hmm.
But I go to my old city. It's 750,000 people. Poznań, a quite big city. It have
Hmm.
a international airport in it.
Okay.
So what I do, I go there and I go to like little shops located near like bus stops or a tram
Okay.
stops or whatever. They always have a lot of shitey toys for a very low price in those stores. Yeah. So I just go and I look at the displays. I go into the store and I ask them, "Do you have like bad toys?" Literally, I do that.
What's up, Al?
Sorry, just gonna. So
Yeah,
I look through
exactly.
I look through
TT.
those small stores, and I always come out with a bag of treasures. Yeah, like you remember I was doing the Mortal Engine build. The
Hmm.
cannon in the middle of the Mortal Engine was a toy from one of those stores.
Hmm.
Yeah, and a lot of like little diggers, trucks, whatever. I find them for a price which is cheaper than what I would found in here in the pound shop. Yeah, so just go around, look for those little stores. I don't know, like in US you have more of a personal transportation kind of lifestyle, when in Central Europe, yeah, we tend to have more of a public transportation. So
No,
those little stores are
we have
everywhere.
we're pretty good, but there's just nowhere to go. I live in a really
Yeah,
small town as well, but like we have these things called thrift stores, which is like
yeah,
where people sell, donate their junk to like the Salvation Army or the Red Cross, and then those places will then try to resell it back to other people. There are never any toys there. Used to be all kinds of broken toys that we'd pick up and tear apart and use for other things. We only have one swap meet, which is like a flea market, but it's only on Sunday, which is literally impossible for us to get to. We don't have any more of the little Chinese stores with all the weird, you know, or Japanese stores with the little anime models and things like that. All I've got is the more expensive end hobby stores like craft stores where it's mostly geared for the women, are doing
yeah,
like their flower arranging or painting or scrapbooking stuff like that. But they do have a good section of model kits and Gundams and paints and things like that, but they haven't restocked the Vallejo paint in the entire time I've lived here, which is like 12 years.
oh my
So if
god.
I buy paint, I've got to check it out and test it on my hand to make sure it's actually a liquid and not a solid. Yeah, I'm trying to buy a Mogwai. Yes, I would love to. I would love to see prices go back, but they never will. And I'm running out of places other than just buying the more expensive stuff and do like what you've done, which is to uh, buy kits that come with extra sprues, save the sprues, and hopefully someday down the road I'll come up with a use for. I do have a couple of model kits that I want to put together, but eh, finding time for this is getting harder and harder. Uh,
Oh,
is there
especially with
is
your
there
upload schedule.
Yeah, well, yeah, the boys keep me kind of busy and all the other stuff,
Yeah.
but I do have a big Kickstarter coming in. Do you ever do Kickstarters?
I actually never did. I do
Okay,
patrons from time to time, but not really Kickstarters.
okay. Is there anything like new coming down the road that you're dying to pick up this year? Like a kit
I
you're saving
always
up for
don't.
anything like that?
No, no, like I could probably, but it's just like I don't like. I'm more of a person who likes to, I'm used to traditional exchange. That is my money. I want the product right
Hmm.
now, not somewhere in the future.
Right, I get
Yeah.
that. I get
So
that. No, I meant like is there like a GW model kit you're looking for, hoping to pick up this
yes,
year,
there
anything like
is
that?
there
Because they're
is
so freaking
definitely.
expensive. You gotta,
They are
take out a
releasing.
loan.
Yeah, they are releasing right now. Well, I'm actually waiting for one to arrive.
Oh, okay.
So they released a for the Palatine Enforcers for the Necromunda. They released a Turox Taurus transport, like a small car vehicle. I love the look of it, and it's gonna be looted by my Goliaths. Yeah, and I got my wages yesterday, and I spent like 180 quiz on Warhammer. So I have 5 boxes coming in, and all of that is just to make my Goliath Ash Wastes riders. So there's gonna be mechanical horses, motorcycles, quads, a car, and a kind of a ostrich riders.
Okay. I was actually, I was looking at the new Necromunda when it came out, and I'm like, man, I've already got the old Necromunda, but then I saw the Ash Waste stuff, and I'm like, you know what? That kind of opens up a whole new like playground, if you will.
Yeah,
You know, a new place to do battle with a lot of like the things you showed off really kind of give me hope for that particular game. But I'm gonna probably do what I always do and wait till it goes out of print and then find somebody who has an extra copy and get it, you know, at an insane discount or something like that, because I just can't see paying those prices on a lot of stuff. It's just like I wanted to get into the new Epic Space Marines, you know, the 6 or 8 mil version, and then I saw the, you know, the super heavy tanks were $50 for two tanks, and I'm like, that's more expensive than it is to buy the old metal tanks.
Epic is no longer supported, which means 3D printing is actually
It's already
eligible.
no longer supported.
Well, it was well, after they released Epic, yeah, they stopped supporting it pretty much after a year. Yeah, that's what Games
Wow,
Workshop do with
has
those
it already been a year?
one of
I
oh
could have
maybe they
swore it
released
was
a new one. I don't know. Like I haven't checked. Yeah, but
because
like
I
they
could have swore it was like a kind of like a Christmas release, pre-release, you know. And I went to my store and they say, "Oh, we're not even getting it."
yeah. No, like Epic was released. I know that they released the Epic a couple of years ago, and they stopped supporting it after a year. They have it. They still have some in the store, I think. But you know, like if you look through
Go for
that,
it, Justin.
yeah,
Yeah, you're right, El. I can easily see the correlation between fewer gamers and more fewer tabletop gamers and crafters to more video gamers and app players and whatever you want to call it. The people who are doing this crap all day. I
that
would not trade this hobby for anything. It's so calming and relaxing when you've had a crappy day and you can just sit back and, you know, look at your you know your little plastic empire and you know have them all, you know, looking up at you, you know, sir, paint me, you know.
like I just gonna show you guys one thing, yeah.
You can
Just tell
show
me,
us, well,
just tell me if you ever seen a better picture to make yourself laugh. If you look into the mirror, yeah. Is there anything better to make yourself laugh? This beats any computer game.
yep, yep. What's up, Squirrel? Another fellow crafter here. Squirrel, I don't know if you've ever uh, met Armstrong from MADEYE Miniatures, but you guys are two peas in a pod.
Yeah. Like for me, like people, tend to focus on games, then they tend to focus on gaming. I love toys. Yeah. So,
Mhm.
for example, the entire Necromunda range. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest with you. Probably by the end of this year, I'm gonna have everything they released for the new Necromunda because I just loved the Necromunda range. The minis
Really,
are just beautiful.
Dirty Basement Terrain. I got their first Kickstarter. I opened it up and I wanted to throw it in the garbage. I was so furious at the scale difference. You know, I have 25 millimeter miniatures from back in the day, but I don't touch them. And when I saw these, I was just like, these are tiny. I'm seriously thinking about sending the entire Kickstarter over to uh, Dungeon Minister because I saw how much he liked it and how much he appreciated it, and he'll actually get some use out of it. I never will. You know what? Magnification is key. Even as a kid, I knew that working on these things, being able to see everything better, and now, you know, I normally just use these readers, but I've got 2 or 3 other sets of light up, you know, googly eyes we call them. They are the best.
Yeah, well, I got those for a Christmas gift like 2 years ago, and they never leave my side. Yeah, if I go abroad to Poland to visit my parents, I know that the first thing I'm gonna do is go to Warhammer store, buy myself something, buy myself a new set of paints, and I'm gonna be sitting there, when my parents go to sleep, and I'm gonna be just chipping away at models.
Hold on a second. I Dirty Basement Terrain. That's great, but I got the first one. I'm not going to buy the second one. I mean, it was a good deal, and had they been the right scale, it would have been a great deal. But having a bunch of kobolds or not kobolds, hobgoblins and stuff that are, you know, basically goblins, in scale. I just, and it wasn't a bad deal. It was like what 140, 150 miniatures for like $100 with shipping, but I can't do anything with it.
That's as well kind of a risk of going for the Kickstarters because they show you something they're supposed to look correct, and then you get them and they are like a little bit
That
wacky.
was, Armstrong. That is the only time I've ever been disappointed with a Kickstarter, other than time. And I've backed 20 some odd Kickstarters, and all of them, like someone was saying earlier, are things that I would have never got and would have never seen production had they not been able to crowdfund and get the funds up front. But I get it. A lot of people don't have that luxury to be able to do that. But I've got a Kickstarter right now that's coming in the next couple of weeks. It's like 500 miniatures. I've got to assemble them all. They're all fantasy miniatures, and I paid less than $1 a piece, and that includes a dragon turtle that's about this big, a kraken, a an airship like a blimp, like a big long balloon with a gondola suspended from it, and like half a dozen other really really big models along with the 450 other models, and I paid like $500 including shipping for all of it. So it's going to be 50 cents to $1 a miniature depending on how you look at it. And I've dealt with these people before, the company I was telling you about in Poland, and I'm not kidding you, their quality is damn near as good as Games Workshop when it comes to the sculpts. Not
I
only
did
that, but
see the minis on
they're,
your
they're, they're
channel
doing
before.
some they're doing some pre-painted stuff now, and they're doing some multi-part models where they have lots of optional limbs and weapons and all that good stuff. When it comes out, make sure you catch that video and you'll see what I was talking about. Uh, and
Oh,
Claricon guys, I don't know. I would love to go. Maybe one of these days I will get to go. Uh, Now I've only been doing Kickstarters for about as long as the channel, so less than 4 years, L. But it was Jackie's idea. My son, when we were getting our first Kickstarter, he's like, uh, we should do an unboxing video, and I'm like, what the hell is that, right? An unboxing video. What? People want to watch other people open their mail. He's like, yeah, yeah, yeah. We'll make a channel. We'll do all this, and 3.5 years later, now he's just he's just so full of great ideas. It's amazing. Okay, Justin. Right after this show, which we're only going to go for a few more minutes because I need to use the restroom. But then we're all going to go pile on to Discord. Armstrong, you're welcome to join us to get your character ready for
and I'm checking in
Sunday.
the general chat anyway.
I know, right? And we'll go do the after party on Discord. Justin, hopefully you'll make it. I know I like them too. It's especially when I'm helping out the companies that uh, that have helped me. They took my money and they brought me a big Christmas present full of more Christmas presents that I'll get to open later and put together and do all the fun things like that. I make Jackie do an unboxing of. Well, the only problem with that, L, is we don't eat a lot of cereal around here because it's super cold. And then the little guy, he actually rides his bike to school. Unlike everybody else in the state, nobody rides their bike. Nobody rides a bike, and so if he has cereal, he just wants to go back to bed and hide under the blankets to try to get warm from the cold milk. So, but if they actually put cool stuff in cereal boxes like they used to, I would think about it. Get a box of cereal, just dump it out on the table to find the cool toy or whatever. Which I bet a lot of those old little goofy little toys we got in yeah, I know, Mac, I know, rub it in. Yeah, 40 degrees, 30 degrees, to us it's cold. When our average temperature is 90 degrees, when it goes down to 30, that seems like a big drop.
What is 90 degrees in like understandable measure?
uh uh
Like,
Super hot. It's a little bit below human body temperature.
so about 24 degrees.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, not 24, 34. 30,
Right.
34
So
Celsius,
and
yeah.
you're wearing shorts.
So if right now in here it is 10 degrees Celsius, so how much would be that in
Eh,
Fahrenheit?
32 Celsius, nerd says. And Dirty Basement. When Armstrong does an unboxing video, it's not usually an unboxing. It's a what did I bring back from home when it goes to Poland. Those videos are fantastic because you pick up some of the weirdest stuff. It's like we can't even find products like that. It's all like the big name brands or nothing. Even at our dollar stores, it's like something that used to be like a big deal, like a couple of years ago, and now they're bringing it here, like old Star Wars action figures or stuff like that. It's all something that was supposed to do well, in the regular stores. It didn't, and now they get it. Although there's a couple exceptions. The Final Faction action figures were huge in the crafting community for a while, and now they haven't restocked those in
Yeah, you keep
like
on
six
talking
months.
about those Final Faction. I never saw them in any of our pound shops.
One of these days, I'm gonna have to send some to you. You sent us so many cool things last time. They're just these like dollar action figures about the size of Star Wars figures, but they come with a lot of like really cool accessories. So for like $1, getting just the gun that comes out of them is like worth it. You take the gun, you put it on that one vehicle, and everybody's like, "Where'd you get that cool gun?" Or things like that.
So
Uh,
this actually come from Polish store. It was sell as a sweets. But literally there was a tiny bag of hard candy attached to this, and this one cost me €1 50.
that's a great vehicle. I can
Yeah,
easily see that repainting it and turning it
that's
into
gonna
a
be an Orkish
sci-fi,
war truck.
or using it as just a standard utility vehicle in a sci-fi game,
Yeah,
or like a city utility truck, with also with a paint job. I've turned a lot of those vehicles, those dollar vehicles, into some great projects.
yeah. Oh no, like I love, like the thing is that I love cheap toys. Yeah, because the
Mhm.
cheap toys have the most potential. If you buy a expensive toy like a Gundam, yeah, they already have the potential kind of realized, and you changing
Yeah,
something in it, it's kind of, for me, it's kind of
body
feel weird.
collector.
Yeah, but if I buy something like this, yeah, if I buy something crappy like this, or I buy a sheet of plastic art, and then I build something like that out of it, yeah.
Oh my god, let me blow that up. Holy crow, that is awesome.
Yeah, this is my
Let's get a good. Oh my
this is my
god.
Orkish Gorkonaut slash Stompa, because it is somewhere in between the size of Gorkonaut and
Wow.
Stompa. Yeah, and
Those
I did,
that triad of guns on the one arm. Oh my goodness, that
yeah.
is fantastic.
The
Uh,
funny thing is that the pilot of this vehicle is actually sitting on the arm instead of in the head.
okay, okay. Whatever it
Yeah.
takes though, right guys?
So like
That is
the
gorgeous.
entire idea was this, that I want to start a Badmon clan. Yeah. And I was like, if I want to start the Badmon clan, I would start with a big one. Yeah. So I built the
Uh-huh.
giant moon first. And then I was like, okay, I have a giant moon. Would that be a spaceship or would that be a walker? So I made the walker. I made those arms and everything, up to that point. And then for about 3 years, I couldn't figure out the legs. Yeah, so it was collecting dust for about 3 years. Eventually, I just built the legs. Just said I have to push through it. Yeah, there is no excuse to don't finish that model. and I finished it, and I couldn't be happier with this one. Yeah, and you can see there is like a little bit of 3D printed stuff, but like, for example, in here,
Oh,
this texture on the leg, yeah, this is from the inside of the hanger, of the cloth hanger.
okay.
You know, where you have those rubber mats. These are those two of those rubber mats just cut to the size. Yeah, what else in here is kind of weird stuff that I used. Uh,
That is impressive, dude. I seriously I want a nice glamour shot of that one.
the wires on the legs are headphone wires, like those green
Okay.
wires. That's the headphone wires. There is actually a Hot wheel in here in the back as a hatch,
Okay.
opener.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a lot of little nubbins, like the legs in here, the ankle joints. Yeah, they are
Uh-huh.
actually inside of a juice box,
Okay.
opening to the juice box, and a lot of that stuff is just basically just a scrap. But the entire build was started from a plastic art, just pure plastic art.
hmm
Yeah, and
I have
I
a
just
lot of
started
respect for
adding
people who
stuff.
could just take pure, you just flat plastic card and cut it out with straight lines and get it all together. I've had
Oh, there is no
hit or
straight
miss.
line on that.
Okay, I got a question. Lately, I've been buying Loctite super glue. Okay, hold
Okay,
on,
yeah.
let me.
Show me the battle.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
It's crap. I might as
Okay.
well just spit on the pieces and hold them together. I mean, this is crap. I can't find good super glue anymore. You remember back in the day where they'd have the commercials with the guy hanging from the beam. He glued his
Yeah.
helmet to the beam. It- Super glue won't hold up a freaking, a mouse, let alone a human. It's just garbage. What happened to good old fashioned real super glue that would, glue your hands together and you have to go to a hospital? You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
that no
crap.
longer exists
I
unless you
mean,
pay a top dollar for it.
can you recommend a really good brand? Well, okay, L.
Well,
When
Gorilla
I
is
want to
good.
when I'm gluing, uh, the same kind of plastic to plastic, not a problem. I'll use testers or Tamiya liquid plastic cement. But when I'm doing other stuff and I need super glue or I need something to glue like in a hurry to hold it together, um,
For plastic to plastic, this is the best glue ever.
who makes that?
That Tamina super glue with a
Okay, yeah,
screws
I
melted
can
in
pick
it.
that up. That's a little bit more expensive than what I buy, and this stuff it works when I don't spill it. But I've got like 5 bottles of this now. But I will pick up some of that. But I need a good recommendation for a good super glue that
I,
I've tried Loctite, but the thing I don't like about Loctite is the bottle, the one that you got to squeeze the sides of. It's a great looking bottle for crafting, but I need to empty it first.
yeah. No, it's hard to get a good super glue right now. Like I tried Gorilla, yeah, and Gorilla is not bad, but the price to affect a ratio is not
Mhm.
worth it. Yeah. So good super glue costs top money right now. Like the things that I buy in the pouch shop.
Really, Gorilla Glue. I always have a problem with Gorilla Glue that it like dries like crazy fast for some reason. Like the bottle just, I buy a bottle and the next week the bottle's a solid chunk of dried super glue. Empty super glue bottles.
No, that's actually full super glue bottles.
Holy crap! That's where all the super glue went in North America, folks.
Yeah, like I go to the store and whenever they have super glue that I tried before and I know that is around that quality, I would just buy
Well,
like six or eight boxes of them.
the problem with baking soda is that it glues fast, but it glues weaker. It's not as strong. I've seen lots of studies on when you do that, the bond is not as strong. It'll glue fast, but if you drop it or something like that, you can break the whole thing apart because the bond will just
Well,
crack.
with our hobby, when you use the soda, the people think that the advantage of it is that it is making a resin. It isn't. It's just soaking up the moisture out of the super glue. But the
Mhm.
advantage of using baking soda is the bigger contact surface.
Right.
Yeah, because when you are working on, for example, I don't know, something like this, yeah, like one of those cars, and you have to glue a lot of heavy stuff to it. If
Right.
you are just using pure super glue, you only have that little contact surface which is touching with the car. If you add a little bit of baking soda, you're creating much bigger contact surface. Yeah. So on one hand, it can weaken the joint, but on the other hand, it's give you bigger contact surface and better contact surface. So
You know,
it's kind of
I was
going both
telling
ways.
folks the other day, I found out that believe it or not, really fine sand also kind of has the same effect of if you can't get baking soda, if you can get really fine sand, it actually, especially when you're basing a miniature, like putting it on the base. If you put a little bit of glue around and then you throw in some sand right around their feet, it just like they're not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's exactly the same effect. Basically, bigger contact surface because the super glue connect all of those particles together.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's better, folks? Gorilla Glue gel or Loctite gel?
Hmm. I don't know. I don't really use that much of a gel super glue.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the gel either. It seems like it takes even longer to dry, and when I'm using super glue, I really want it fast. That's the main thing is I want it fast, but I want it strong.
That's why you have accelerators like that on that side. That white bottle there, that's a super glue accelerator.
Even nickels, Mac. You know, in the old days we used a lot of pennies for miniature bases, but these days even a nickel. I mean, they're not worth anything. You can't buy anything with a nickel. You know, it's kind of weird. Inflation. I think we're going to see the end of coins in the next couple of years.
Yeah, like in Ireland we are using euro. Yeah, so I'm always collecting the 5 euro cents coins because they
Mhm.
perfectly fit inside of the 20 millimeter base as a weight for the top heavy miniatures. Like,
You like Loctite? I'll look and see if I can find some Loctite, folks. That's not in those particular bottles. Maybe Mac, but I'm going to try at least to get the best of both worlds when it comes to super glue because I do kind of need something better than this stuff. This is actually Loctite, and it's a good price, and it's really good for some of the things I do, like gluing, flocking, and sand to the bases, for the texture and that sort of thing. But when it comes to uh, gluing miniatures together, not miniatures, but craft projects that are non-standard items, to each other, especially like drinking straws. Oh my God, I can't find anything that'll hold, when you use it like a drinking straw to make a smokestack or something like that.
our drinking straw, you basically it is coated. Yeah, drinking straws are coated because they are food product, so they don't work. Yeah, instead of that, just buy the paper drinking straws. You're gonna be much happier with them.
We were supposed to have replaced plastic with paper straws, but I have yet to see one.
Oh,
I seriously,
I use them. Yeah, they replace them in our local takeaways. They are horrible. They disintegrate before you finish your drink. They actually have a taste of the paper in your mouth instead of a drink. I despise them for the intended usage. Yeah, and on the
uh,
other hand, they give you a drink in a giant plastic cup. Where's the logic?
like I said, our restaurants and things like that have yet to start giving them out. And this is California, like the brain trust of that genius idea in the first place, and I haven't seen them yet.
Well, bamboo drinking straws are actually much better. They are, of course, different sizes because it is a bamboo, so it is just a type of grass, but at least they don't taste anything.
I don't remember wood straws, L, but I, I wouldn't mind, being able to find some for various projects. Heck, even the paper straws, if I could find them, I could think of some things that I could use them for, especially when you're sorry.
But
Certain
if you,
projects I could see paper or wood being better, but all I've got are the plastic. Although I really like the boba straws, those really freaking giant ones that look like they're like for blow darts.
if you are looking for like something for piping, yeah,
Hmm.
this set in here, that is my camera. Sorry, this actually I bought that on AliExpress for I think 10 or 19 quid. I'm not sure. I don't remember because I bought a
Hmm.
lot of stuff. But it comes with a lot of different plastic art shapes. It is pipes, straws, and the squares. Yeah. So for me, this shapes that's gonna last me for about a year. Yeah, and I just look for the next set like that on AliExpress.
Yeah, I usually don't go to any of those like Timu and the other one you just mentioned. What was that?
AliExpress.
Yeah, I've looked, and I was really impressed with a lot of the Cthulhu Wars bootleg miniatures.
Yeah.
I was like, wow. Because I have the game Cthulhu Wars, and the minis, for it are awesome. But I went over there. A buddy of mine said, "Hey, go check this out," and I'm like, And I saw some other good stuff, but I just feel rotten for you know buying that kind of a thing. When I know darn well that uh, they're they're not legit, so to speak. They're not from the same place, or
Well,
you
I'm
know,
buying raw materials. Yeah, I don't buy ready stuff from them. I buy
right?
plastic art pieces. Buy like the metal mesh that I put into the windows of my cars from them.
Uh
Yeah,
huh.
I buy bushes, for example, like stuff like this. Yeah,
Hmm.
I have a flower set that costs I think 1.99 for those couple of chains of flowers. Yeah, and that's gonna last me for God knows how long. It's crappy, yeah, but if with a little bit of know-how, you can make it look decent.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not you're not going for a golden demon award or anything like that. But I'm telling you, that orc stompa, you got to post pictures of that on my site. That is phenomenal. Our friend Brian, when he sees that, he's just going to be like, "Wow,"
yeah.
'cause that is impressive.
Oh, what you doing?
But we've been doing this for about an hour. We're going to say goodbye, but in the meantime, let everybody know where they can find you. Uh, oh my goodness, I've never seen that gorgeous little pup before. I thought you had a
Yeah.
cat, but I didn't know you had a dog.
Oh, like the cat is more of my wife idea. The dog as well, but both of those are actually my pets because I'm the one taking care of them.
Dude, you want more views? Just bring on the pets, and people will just like ooh and ah. I'm a huge pet fan,
Yeah.
and dogs are my favorite because dogs are the best.
Oh, Labradors are great. They
That's
have
that's a that's a beautiful dog.
yeah, they have stomach made out of iron, hearts made out of gold, yeah, and heads made out of something that you cannot break, probably unobtainium. Yeah, just the best creatures in the world. Yeah, but if you want to find me, of course, I am MADEYE Miniatures on YouTube. Yeah, and that's basically it. I do toys. My first video ever was actually a for someone who just reached 50 subscribers on YouTube for his competition.
Nice. So, what's your next project? So people can look forward to the next video from you.
Well, I'm trying to finish my Goliaths and show them off.
Hmm.
Yeah, well, at least that's what I have right now on the table. And like I said, the next video is of this little car here. Yeah, like I showed before.
Let
It
me
is
blow you up.
it is actually already done. I just need to get my computer to cooperate with me. Yeah, because I need to edit it, and my computer decided to basically sabotage me and do not recognize my phone. So there you go. That's the next project. And as well, I'm working on a little bit of a terrain project. If I can just grab, where did I put it? Oh, okay, just up it behind those spruce. Oh, so the terrain project, I
Okay,
built a little bit of
that
a
that turned
hangar.
out perfect. That
Yeah.
and that's just cardboard in it.
The base for this build is actually a Pringles can
Wow,
covered in cardboard.
nice.
Yeah, and I have like multiple of those make into the smaller scale because I want to make this into a kind of a Necromunda setup.
Yeah, but you know what? It'll you could use it for a lot of other games.
Oh yeah, like it's size-wise. If I just throw any kind of cars in front of it, yeah, it can easily work as a plane hangar
Mm-hmm. Gaslands.
for Gaslands. Yeah, and it could be a nice, line blocker for the game itself, line of sight
Wow,
blocker
man.
because you just cannot see over that.
Yep, it's
Yeah,
perfect, dude. Perfect.
and that costed me, guess how much? Pretty much zero.
Like, yeah, exactly. It's just made out of stuff that anybody else would throw away.
Yeah. So the little series that I started, 000, yeah, that's gonna probably start growing, and I'm gonna do a little bit more of the terrain pieces that everyone can build, and then we're gonna scale it up to a little bit more skill, a little bit more costs.
Yeah, I want to see that. I want to see that.
Yeah.
I don't have the room to build buildings right now. I've made a few in my day, and
I'm
I
not in
would
a
love to
single
be able
bedroom
to do more.
apartment.
But I think once I get to Texas and open up the shop, that's when I'll really be able to do that sort of thing and need to do that sort of thing because it takes up a lot of room after a while.
Yes,
Um,
it does. That's why I'm buying.
especially when you make like a volcanic island. That one that's our not even our biggest build back in the day, but it just sits there. Um, someday I'm going to give it away to somebody because I just you use it sometimes those specialty buildings once and then it's like, well, I can't bring that out again. That's no surprise to the players.
Now, my biggest build ever that I made was Ministry, the city from the Lord of the Rings, and it was on a 4x4 foot base. But I have to sell it because I haven't have space in my house to keep it.
Hmm. Hmm.
It was occupying the space of one of my spare beds.
Wow.
So I was living in a small apartment with my parents in Poland, and I have like two, kind of foldable beds. And the other bed was, in case if someone come around, like and
Right.
whatever,
Right.
to sleep on it. So I just built it, just in front of that foldable bed, so we couldn't unfold it anymore.
I bet you got good money for it though, right?
Well, for me, that was basically a monthly wages out of it. Yeah, at that stage, it was beautiful.
Maybe. All right, folks. Thanks for hanging out with us. Go out and check out Mad Eye Miniatures. If you're not already subscribed, what are you doing with your life? Like I said, anytime you guys need a break and you just want to chill out while you're doing your craft or whatever, um, go check out his channel. Make sure you like, subscribe, share the hell out of it. We will see you guys tomorrow night for the Sci-Fi Shadow Chat, and then on to another week. Thanks everybody for stopping by. Armstrong, brother, thank you for making this a great afternoon for me. Um, wish nothing for the best of you. One of these days, we're gonna have to find a way to meet up in person and hang out at least once.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Thank you very much for having me today. It was great chatting
Been
with you
wanting to do
again.
this for a long time.
I
One of
know
those
when
things
you
that had to
asked me
get on
for the
the
first
list.
time, I actually thought that I answered you, and then I realized that I only answered in my head.
Yeah, well, now that you've answered, uh,
Yeah.
we could say we had this moment. Yeah, fly to Ireland. No, man, he's got to fly to the grand opening of my shop. Okay, I see your point, Mac, but I want him to come and hang out at the shop,
Yeah, if
and
they
then
let me in.
maybe he'll decide to he wants to live in the states. Could always use another good man here in the states, right? So,
Oh,
everybody, Have a great day. Have an even better weekend. We love you, and we will see you real soon. And until next time,
Yeah,
we'll
everyone
trade.
take care. Bye.